Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 216. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing some review by Zane on maybe a flashlight, I think he said. I don't know. He's not sure. A super light 22 AR and the Walther PPQ SC. And tonight on the podcast, we have Tony, Rob, and Zane, along with myself, of course. And yes, I may sound a little odd because I have a head cold. Tony sounds like Barry White. So, you know, those other two guys sound pretty much normal. So which one of you guys wants to tell us what you did in firearms?
What I did in firearms this week is not misused my AR-15. I also I got a Stinger in, which is a muzzle device, and a muzzle brake and a shell from Matador Arms, and that will be going on the Rob's rifle. Because we're going to do an AR-15 clinic, Sean and I, Sunday the 25th, and we're going to do AR-15 clinic at Fort Dix. So it's going to introduce a lot of new people to the to the rifle. And this is going to be added to it. So really, so far this week, just got parts in and didn't commit any crimes.
Well, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? You didn't commit any crimes. Yeah, I don't think anybody on here did.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see. Rob, what'd you do?
Now, I have been working my keister off over the last 2 weeks, so I didn't have time to do anything firearms related. The only thing I did really do, and I failed to mention, is last month when the ATF was soliciting feedback for the bump stock ban, I did submit some feedback for that. And I'd encourage all of our listeners that when they do those feedback sessions or request feedback, at least try to provide something.
Right.
So your opinion can get out there.
Yep. I gotcha. Well, what about you, Zane?
I don't know if I did anything this week. I think I went shooting. I can't remember. I finished 2 reviews and started a third one.
Hey.
Kind of gun related.
Yeah, I went shooting in the snowing weather is what I did, which I actually wanted to go in the snow weather because I'm working on a review on that Vortex Viper PSD Gen 2. Basically, when it's snowing, you get about decent clarity out to about 400 yards, which, you know, isn't bad considering. And I took some pictures through the reticle so people will be able to see them.
Hey, Chad, I'll save you some time. That's a great scope. I highly recommend it. Now send me it so I can use it.
I got to send it back. So no, you have what? You have the Gen 1. I lost it in a boating accident.
Yeah, you lost it in the boating accident. It's at the bottom of Puget Sound.
Yeah. So
tell them that. Tell them that.
So I shot some groups at 200 yards. Then I went and shot I shot a dot torture drill with that Polymer 80 compact. Fared fairly well on it considering it was 3 yards and I was cold and hadn't shot that dot torture. Cold, and hadn't used that gun before on it.
No, I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed by what you did, man.
Yeah, it was pretty. Dot torture is one of those drills. It doesn't matter how good you are. It will hurt your feelings because if you can shoot it clean 99 out of 100 times, but eventually you will drop a round out of it, and it will hurt deep down inside.
I dropped more than one.
Well, and the last time I shot it, I think I dropped 6, and I had shot it clean like 5 times in a row before that. So that's just one of those drills. Like
thing is you do it, but okay, I can post what I did, but see, you guys didn't see the fumble to reload on it, which, you know,
there you go.
mag. Well, I went to stick the mag in after dropping the one, and well, I don't know. It just like
brother.
came out of my hand and landed in the gravel. I was like, "Oops." I'm like, "Well,
Oh well."
I guess I got killed in the streets."
Nice. But truthfully, let the truth be known. You discover things like that actually doing drills.
Yep.
Not talking about it, not dry firing it, and not just doing square range stuff, but actually running drills with a stressor. I'm not saying it's anything like the streets or the pressure being shot at, but I'm just saying adding a stressor all of a sudden turns you into Freddy Fumble Fingers and you forget how to load a pistol.
Exactly. And
so don't
if you
don't
never
think.
put yourself under either a time constraint or an accuracy standard, or preferably both, you're never going to push your skills ever.
Well, you're never going to see them. You're never going to see your skills again under a stressor. I'm not saying under stress. I'm saying under a stressor of, like you said, time constraint, timer, whatever. A bunch of dudes watching you in class. If you only shoot in your port at the range, you're not going to get any better, and you're not going to know how good you are. And you're definitely not going to perform at the top of the key, at the top of your ability when it's 3:00 in the morning, you're in your Superman underoos and you're trying to find out what went bump in the living room.
Right. Because even like shooting competitions, even it doesn't really even matter what kind. It puts you under one of those stressors, and some people just you find out what you can and can't do, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing you find out is the shortcomings of your equipment when you start doing things like that. Not just the shortcomings of your skill. You will find the shortcomings of your equipment.
You will. Yep. Yeah, there is that. I didn't find any this time. I'm not saying there won't be any. The shortcomings were all me this time, okay?
Wow.
Yeah. I guess we can move on to the announcement. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I'm not terrible. I'm not great. So, I might as well be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
On to the announcements. Of course, the bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. I didn't check to see if there's new patches for pre-order, but last week there weren't. There's a patch of the month club. We're still on February, and the opposites attract one. I'm not sure what March is going to bring, so probably something to do with St. Patrick's Day or something, but I don't know. We have our listener support program. You can go to firearmsradio.tv/pledge gun gear review podcast if you want to pledge some money to the show. If you're shopping Amazon, use our affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon, and that will give us, the network and us, money to do stuff. If you want to give stuff for Tony's 2A for E diversity shoot and are shopping Black Bag Resources, you can use the code Simon Says Train, and anything you purchase with that code will be donated to Tony. Hey, Rob, you're up.
I thought you were going to intro me, but I guess not.
Well, I said, Rob, you're up.
Oh, wow. That's all I get. Hey, Rob, you're up. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Woohoo, great. Well, and I guess we're on to Zane now, since it is the main topic, and he is doing a review on, what is it?
It's a Bushnell flashlight, and this was just kind of a fun review. I never actually planned on reviewing this, but it impressed me so much I figured I would. So spoiler alert, I like it. It's the Bushnell. It's called the Pro 50 Lumen Pocket Light. It is not a tactical quote unquote light. It's not very bright, and it's very, very tiny. It's a single AAA battery cell light. It's got a pocket clip on it, and I got it mainly for like administrative purposes when I don't feel like using a 1,000 lumen light. I picked it up for $15, and it rode around in my pocket for about a year and a half. And had that been all it done, the review would have never been written. But I lost it one day. I couldn't find it until about 6 weeks later. I was mowing my gun range. I found it in the dirt. So I just picked it up, put it on the table, and kept mowing because it was raining. I was trying to get done. And took it home. Before I threw it in the trash can, I just clicked the tail cap, and by God, it still worked. The battery was still good and everything in it. So, yeah, I've had it for 2 years now, and it's been very, very durable. It's got decent battery life. And if you're looking for a cheap, durable admin light, just to give you a couple lumens to find to put your key into the slot at the house or whatever, it's hard to beat. I picked this one up at Walmart. They're also available on Amazon. I'll go over the 8 key points here real quick. Let's see here. Claim to fame, it's a light. It's nothing special. Target market is anyone who needs a small admin task light. Features and benefits are it's durable and uses a single AAA battery. There are no other finishes or options available. It's just a black metal. Well, mine's silver because, like I said, it's been in my pocket for 2 years. But it's just a black, smaller light. I found one review from Walmart.com. You can go to the website and read that. The price point when I wrote ago was still $14.99, which is what I paid for it. Since then, it has gone up to $31. So I actually had to change my rating on it because of the doubling of price. So pros, durable and cheap. Cons, it's small and dim, but that's kind of what it's designed for. Originally, I gave this light an 8, but with the price increase, I have dropped that to a 7. So just a little fun, quick review on a little Bushnell light.
Sweet.
So what did you do? Go out and buy stock in the company before when the price got jacked up?
When I was looking for pictures to add to the review last night, I got on Walmart.com and Amazon. They were both selling it for $31, and I'm like, I swear I only paid $15 for it. So I went back into the review and looked, and yeah, that's what I paid for it. So
they like my Walmart right now has one of it's probably the same light, and it's on clearance for like $19.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it's got the knurl. Is that how you say that word, knurling?
Yes.
Yep.
The bumps and all that stuff on it. It's small. Like if you got big hands, it's not going to be for you. But for what I needed it for, it was perfect.
Yeah. See, I have one of their. It's like 140 lumen flashlight that I use. That it works great for what it is. Just for stick in your pocket. As you can tell, it's all wore out. Same kind of thing.
Yeah,
I bought it just as a task
I have
light.
the same one. I have the same one with 350 lumens, and I do not like that one because it toggles through different modes, and it has like high, medium, low, and strobe, and I don't like any of that in a light.
Right.
So, but this one I've been really impressed with. It's great, like throwing a med kit, because like you want like a pin light in your med kit, so you can use your teeth to do whatever, and so.
Yeah.
But like I said, I wasn't even going to do a review on it till I lost it, and then all of a sudden, like it spent 6 weeks in the dirt, in the rain, and the elements, and it still worked. So
cool.
My thing is this, because my problem with lights is I lose them. I just constantly lose them. I had 2 Bushnell Pro 100L. They're high performance tactical flashlights, but it's like a small. Obviously, it's.
Is that the two
batteries.
AAA batteries? Okay, so that's the one that's twice the size of this one. I have one of those too somewhere.
Yes, 2 AAA batteries, and it has a pocket clip. I broke most of the pocket clips off. I think both of them. But I've had this on, and I did like many reviews on the Instagram post, and also you can see it on Simon Says String. Dude, I have nothing bad to say about these things, other than they kind of rip up your pocket a little bit.
I did break my pocket clip off too, but that was like a year and a half in when I broke it off. So I think it broke off when I lost it, actually, to tell you the truth.
That's probably why you lost it.
Yeah, I mean, for $15, even for $30, what they're charging now, when this one finally does die, I'll get another one. I've been thoroughly impressed with it.
Well, that's
They got
good.
2 flashlight companies I've really been impressed with in this price range, or the Bushnell Pro Series and the stuff from Streamlight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Micro Streams.
Yeah,
These
Streamlight
are
makes a
really
good one.
great. Yeah, you can't. You're not wasting your money. I mean, if you want something, and like Zane said, when you get into more powerful things, it's not admin.
right.
Like I work on machines as one part of my job. Shining a 500 lumen flashlight into something that's 3 feet in front of my face, yeah, just not going to help me out any.
It's going to make it worse.
And there
dude.
are techniques you can use if you have to, but there's no reason to just not have a purpose-built design. Like all my go-to, my defensive lights and my weapon mount lights are all stream lights. But all my admin lights, all Bushnells.
Yep.
Now, because I do what I do and the environment I work in, I have a high lumen flashlight because that might buy me a second to get out of a situation or to get in that first blow and try to get out of a situation.
Yeah.
Because I work in a prison. So, yeah, I need the advantages I can get. And a good flashlight gives you that. I know there's Bushnell Pro Series. They have beveled edges. So you can just crack someone in the skull, and now they're worried about their bleeding nose and not you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think all the panelists know the story, but for the listeners, I've used a bright flashlight to keep from having to go to a higher, option or higher option of force, and it can be effective if you know what you're doing. So.
Yep. Well, I'm because we gave Ryan a bad time last week. Yeah, we're gonna straighten some stuff out. Those first gray slides are limited edition. If you hadn't figured that out, the 4 to 6 weeks that Tony was ragging on him about that's if they were to sell out and had to restock them. They put that up there that it could take 4 to 6 weeks, but as of when we did that, they were in stock. So that's why that one guy could write a review, because they were in stock. He bought his, already had his.
Okay.
So we got that straight.
We're still going to rag Ryan.
Well, that's true too, but
I didn't do that to rag Ryan. I was just asking a simple question. And we know darn well if Ryan was here, I'd rag him a lot harder than what I did, because all I did was ask a question.
Well, the first thing I texted him back was, well, you could have been there. You're the one that gave me this job. You could still be doing the podcast.
Nah, Ryan's a rock star now.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a legend in his own mind.
Hey, isn't everybody? Well, thanks for that review, Zane. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
now we're going to get into the product spotlight. And
goody.
These guys are going to, it's a love-hate relationship we're having here. So first up is the 2A Armament AR-22. I'll give you the MSRP and then we'll explain it. MSRP is $1,399. And what this thing is it's basically a 22 long rifle AR-15 that weighs just under 4 pounds complete. Uses their actual bolt carrier type system that they invented. It does have a threaded barrel. Let's see, it weighs in 3 pounds 10 ounces. It's got an ultralight bolt. You get your choice of one of their 2 Athon or Balios light lower receivers and uppers. Just kind of, they're a little different looks. So whichever one of those you want. They are 7075 T6 aluminum. So pretty much good stuff there. Let's see, it's a 16-inch, 1 16-inch fluted barrel. It's got their handguards. It's got a BCM Mod 4 charging handle, a mission first minimalist stock. basically a bunch of 2A armament parts on it. It comes with the ALG ACT trigger group with an optional light or heavy hammer spring. And it ships with a 15-round magazine, but it uses, it looks like, the standard AR-22 long rifle conversion mags from like Black Dog Machine and stuff like that. I haven't shot this rifle, but I actually picked one of them up at SHOT Show, and it literally is super light. I mean, you think 4 pounds. Yeah, 1022 probably weighs about the same. I don't know personally if I'd pay this price for it. I'm sure there's a market for it, and it is nice being light. I will give it that. You pick it up, and then you pick up one of their other lightweight ARs, and you're like, yeah, this is quite a bit lighter. So I kind of liked it. I just don't like the price.
The ARs are really light. Now a 1022 light, which Ruger went and found out what Tactical Solutions did with the 1022 and then copied it. It weighs 4.5 pounds according to their spec sheet, but it costs exactly half of what this costs MSRP. And you can get parts of it everywhere on Earth. You can probably just check random couches in third world countries and find a part to a 1022.
You could probably check my couch.
Exaggerating.
No, that's magazines for this thing probably a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
They sell them for starting at $18. So
2A Armament makes really cool lightweight stuff, as light as humanly possible. And it's great. And if you want to buy this, great. But I'm looking at it as, if I have another 2A Armament rifle and I want a 22 trainer for my 2A Armament 5.56, I would probably put my money in like a Smith & Wesson 1522 Sport if I wanted an AR-15 trainer. And it's not going to cost me as much. And I love it because I looked up how much a Smith & Wesson costs, and it says 80 ounces. Well, wow, really? Seriously? Like, now I have to do math too?
Yeah.
Anybody know what 80 ounces is? Huh?
I don't know.
No, that's why they make Google. Just Google 80 ounces to pounds.
72 is what, 5 pounds? So it's a little over 5 pounds.
There you go. A little over 5 pounds. I think Zane actually jumped off a bridge because we're talking about 22 AR-15s, and he just
because he literally dropped out and disappeared.
Yeah. But if I really, and I think they use the same magazines, the Black Dog mags, right? Smith & Wesson uses, or do they use their own mag?
Smith & Wesson uses a different style than this does.
Oh yeah, Smith & Wesson uses their own proprietary mag.
Right.
So I'm thinking, if I wanted to get a copy of their rifle, my own rifle, build a copy, but have a dedicated 22 version, that's a lot of money to spend on it, and have it still be probably a pound or two lighter than lighter than my rifle. So it's not even an exact, So no, I wouldn't do that. But hey, if you have the money, do it to it, man. It's not like they don't make a quality product, or I haven't heard of them, or I haven't picked up and manipulated their other products. Because I've done it at NRA in Louisville. I did it at the was the machine gun shoot that they were hosting.
Oh, out in
PA.
Storm Mountain, or was that what it is?
Stony Mountain.
That's it.
Stone Mountain machine gun shoot. So it was really worth, I thought, the money for the 5.56 version if you wanted a really lightweight factory built firearm. But now for the 22 version, I can't say the same thing. Price is just,
it's a nice piece of work they did on it quality wise.
Yeah.
And I'm with you there, and some people are going to buy it, and it's just, I'm not going to, even though I like it. I liked it when I picked it up. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. But that's just me. So if people like it,
$1,400 cool is the question.
Well, for some people,
it's not really a secret that I don't particularly care for 22.
What
shoot 'em.
you
I don't.
what Zane? What?
Yeah.
I no.
Right, I know, big, big shocker there. But I feel like the majority of people, and I could be way wrong on this, but I feel like the majority of people who shoot a lot of 22 do so because they really enjoy shooting, and 22 is probably the cheapest thing to shoot, and it's a great way to get out and enjoy your hobby and not spend a ton of coin. I don't understand the purpose of a $1,400 rifle for cheaper shooting. I'm ditto to what you guys have said so far. I don't disagree with anything that's been said, but I guess I'm gonna go me too on this one and just agree on everything. I don't know. I'm sure it's nice, but
the only problem with this thing is a price point.
And maybe it's worth that. And being 2A armor, and I'm sure it's worth that to somebody.
Right. Fancy would love it.
Okay.
It's their regular 5.56 BLR 16 is $2,459. It weighs 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I can do it cheaper somewhere else and spend the money on ammo or other stuff I want, or even spend the difference in that money building my Smith & Wesson M&P 22 to look exactly like my $2,400 2A armament rifle. You know what I mean? Just forend and everything and run it. Now, I know one of the things that's big now is Rimfire Challenge is coming back. NSSF gave it up. And Michael Bain is now running that. I don't know what he's running it under. But that's a new competition that allows a lot of people to start shooting 22s in a competitive environment with their kids and everything else. And, hey, if you want to get it done with – how much does this thing weigh, 4 pounds?
Yeah, under 4 pounds.
Yeah, okay.
So you could put one of the super lightweight red dots on it and have it at 4 pounds where, I mean, literally your 7-year-old could pick this up and not have any problems.
Yeah, so that's great. And I find nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking you can probably build one yourself, but it won't be under factory warranty and all that. So
yeah, and the other thing with building guns are, none of us are. I'm not a gun manufacturer. Sure, I can build an AR. I can't build an AR as good as 2A armament can build an AR.
Yeah.
So I'm just guessing here, but so yeah, like I can see like if you're getting big and if you're into the competition and you're getting serious about it, you want something that's going to run. It's not going to break on you. And if if you're serious, then yeah, you're going to spend coin even if you're shooting a 22 match. So I can absolutely see a niche for it in that. But where you're M&P Sport 1522, it may choke a little more often than this. It's also about a third of the price. So, or probably about a quarter of the price actually. So, everything's relative, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
It ain't for me. It ain't for me.
I'd probably go with either the Smith & Wesson AR or just a Ruger 1022. I mean, you get that Ruger 1022 Precision for half the freaking price.
Yeah, that's what Tony was saying, I think.
So, anyways.
No, I was saying the Ruger 22 TAC Light.
That's right.
They have a version of their light and rifle. Looks awesome. It's 4 pounds. I'm like, can cope with that. Can teach the kid to shoot that and run that. I think it's 4.5 pounds. Sorry. Put a lightweight optic on it and get busy.
Yep. I hear you. Well, I guess next up is our Walther PPQ subcompact. They're fairly new. It's their PPQ like M2 in the subcompact size. MSRP on it is $649. I didn't shoot this, but some of the guys I was with did when we were at range day. It's a Walther PPQ that's subcompact, so it holds 10 rounds, and has a halfway decent trigger for what it is. let's see. Let's go through this list here. Low profile combat sights. It does have a Picatinny mounting rail, 10-over slide. Yeah. Serrated trigger guard. Quick defense trigger.
You hear that? You hear that, Glock? They put a rail on their subcompact. Take note.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Hey,
smooth
hear
light.
that, Sig?
Yeah, they
Hear
put
that,
a
Sig?
standard
They didn't put a
rail on it.
Yeah, they didn't put a proprietary rail on it.
5.6 pound trigger pull, short trigger travel, and even shorter reset. Actually, I will say that, like I said, when I didn't shoot the subcompact, but I shot one of the full size ones that uses the same trigger system. And the trigger, it is noticeably shorter than some of the others. And it's decent. I mean, it's got an ambidextrous magazine release button, which doesn't really matter to me, but it might. It's the grip is, they say it's ergonomic. It's pretty small. I mean, I don't have super huge hands, and it felt small in my hand, but it filled it well, so that, like, some of them where they're just like square and flat, they just don't work. They don't feel as good. This felt better. It does have an ambidextrous slide stop also, and front and rear slide serrations. Basically, it's a 3.5-inch barrel. You can use the extended 15-round magazines in it. It weighs 21.2 ounces. It's 1.3 inches wide, which isn't terrible. 4.4 inches tall, 6.6 inches long. That pretty much sums it up.
I think subcompacts are the new thing. The big and new darling of the industry to come out of SHOT Show was the SIG 365.
Right.
And everybody was talking about how it holds 10 rounds. It's an inch wide. Well, it's like 4 ounces lighter than this firearm, and 0.3 inches wide. It's 0.3 inches wider than the SIG 365. I have no idea how it feels, because usually I depend on running this stuff like this right after SHOT Show at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, and Walther didn't show up this year. So that was kind of a disappointment. I wanted to actually compare these two, and they weren't available. I think many Americans leave Walther at the counter, other than thinking about the stupid James Bond gun. The PPQ is the bomb. When I went to my instructor classes, we had to actually shoot everyone else's gun on the line. And when it came to polymer 9mm, this kicked butt over everything. The PPQ is just an awesome trigger, awesomely short reset. And I think it's a military firearm or military grade firearm. Thing I don't like is this M2 version with the American style magazine release. I like the European style mag release. That's at the bottom
swivel
of the
down.
guard.
Yeah,
that's at the bottom of the trigger guard and actually ambidextrous. This magazine release is not ambidextrous. I don't know why they keep doing that.
It's switchable, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can switch it though.
Yeah, well, reversible.
Yeah, but that's different than the other style. You know, since I felt both of them, the 365 and the Walther, for my hand, I like the 365 a little better, but I like the trigger actually on the Walther better. So, you know, but weight-wise,
the Walther PPQ. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say weight-wise, you know, you go from one booth to the next. It's not like there's right next to each other, so they feel about the same. I think if I remember right, the SIG felt like it was the grip was a little bit longer. They might have had more of an undercut. I don't really remember. That's just my trying to remember how I liked it. But yeah, I mean, the Walther PPQ subcompact is a nice gun. I mean, I wouldn't spit at it if somebody said, "Here, have one."
The difference in the magazine is the 365 has a little peak at the end of the magazine that you can actually get your pinky on, and the PPQ doesn't. But the PPQ also takes regular 15-round PPQ mags, and you can put a spacer on it, and now you have that size.
A full grip.
A full grip.
Yeah.
For a backup mag or something. And this 365 gives you 12 rounds, and the Walther regular mag gives you 15 plus 1. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So I'm kind of guilty. I'm one of those people that Tony mentioned of like Walther not being on the radar. I don't know much about them. I've never played with any of them. Never heard anything really too good or bad. What I will say is I do really, really like the fact they put a rail on this. A 1913 rail, like a legit rail. And I like these size guns much better than I like the single stack subcompact guns. You know, for some reason, the Glock 43 and the Shield are so popular right now. And I don't find these size guns. This one's a little wider than the Glock 26, but those size guns are the same size. It's a little bit wider, are not that much harder to conceal, so much more pleasant to shoot. And if you need more ammunition, it's a lot easier to shove a 15-round or 20-round double-stack magazine into a mag well than a 15 or 20-round single-stack magazine.
You mean something like a foot long?
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand why the subcompact single stacks are so popular. Most people that can get away with most people that can conceal a Glock 43 or a Shield can conceal a Glock 26 or this PPQ subcompact. They're not that much bigger. Is why. And I really like this size gun so much better.
This is why the industry gets caught in a loop sometime.
Absolutely. Absolutely a fact.
They get caught in loops. Now, jump in the way back machine with the old dude. When Picatinny rails were the thing that had to be on your AR, and nobody blinked an eye over a 10-pound AR-15, and everyone in the industry was doing it. Now we're caught up in the loop of how small can your concealed carry firearm be? And it's like it's the thinner, the lighter, and that's fine until you're trying to shoot it enough to be good at it. Because small guns are more difficult to shoot accurately.
And you need to be proficient with something you're going to carry.
You know?
And also this. It also sucks whenever you pull the trigger and it feels like someone's slapping you in the web of your hand with an aluminum baseball bat. Because that's what it really felt like to me when I was shooting the Glock 43. 43. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, when I shot the 23, it was great. Was that it? No, what's not the 23? What's 26? I'm sorry.
26.
You get caught up in the numbers. Glock 26 was a joy to shoot compared to the 43.
And they are literally the same exact size, aside from the width.
The width.
And it's less than a quarter of an inch difference in width. Same thing, you know, with all, like this one here, I think he said is what, 1.3 inches wide?
Yep.
Yeah.
1.3.
I think the Glock's 1.2 inches wide. It's right about the same. And those single stack, those little bitty single stacks they're right at about an inch. So I really like this size gun. I like the fact that it has a rail. I'm going to probably try to get my hands on one of these because I'm one of those guys. Walther's not really been on my radar. I haven't really paid him much attention. So,
you know, I'm going to give him.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm going to give him pluses. I think this would be easier to conceal than like a Glock 26 because their handle is more than the little blocky square 26 size. Being everything else is about the same. That's just me, but you know, and I think
I do not like the look of the grip texture at all. But
I do not either.
Awesome,
but
dude.
Is it? It looks
it
horrible,
works.
But
yeah.
I haven't held one. You've seen it. You've
no.
it, so you would know.
It works actually. Yeah, it's you'll put when you see one, you'll pick it up. It really doesn't matter if it's the subcompact or any of them. but you'll
Right.
pick it up and you'll be like, wow, this is pretty comfortable. I mean, just
Even if I don't like it though, and I get one, I have a soldering iron, so I can fix that.
that's right.
Dude,
You could fix
this
that.
thing is.
No, I picked
It
with
is.
sandpaper.
This thing, nope. It's not prickly. It's not rough. You put your hand on it and it just grips just right back at you. Because it's not in one straight line. It goes opposite each other. So no matter where you grip it, it will grip your hand and ride the recoil. It's just really well done. I think the first thing I said when I shot a PPQ was like, it's a Glock 19 with a trigger job, a stipple job, and an undercut job. Like everything you want to do to a Glock 19 is done on a PPQ brand new.
I was gonna say that's pretty much what I do with my Glocks.
Yeah.
Actually,
So you
if I
could just
bought,
buy a PPQ.
if I bought the
sights, of
PPQ,
course,
I'd definitely get this magazine they've got with the extended rest, the little grip extension.
Oh yeah, the 15 rounder. Yeah,
That's the
Yep.
15 round
Yeah,
PPQ.
No, that's the 10 rounder. It's
I
just
thought
it's
the
just a
10's
little
flush.
pinky wrist. No, there's a 10 round that's flush, but
Oh.
then they've got this. It's 2829711 that it basically has a little finger rest,
Oh.
a little lip
Oh,
that
okay.
extends below the mag.
Oh,
Okay,
that's awesome.
because
Yeah,
like
that's
in one
why
of the
I've got
pictures.
that for my FM compact, and I love it. That's the way I carry it.
Yeah, that's.
All right, I'm looking
I
at it
hear
now. I
you.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
I do
Seems like-
too.
Yeah, it's $100 more MSRP than the 365, but it doesn't have that proprietary Picatinny if you're ever going to use one. And you want to take your 22-ounce subcompact and make it a 42-ounce subcompact by adding a giant light on the bottom. You can do that with this.
See, but I
It's just-
like
exactly.
that. I like that for appendix carry because I need the length. For appendix carry, like here we go. I knew that one was coming.
You brought it up.
But the guns that are the real short barrels have a tendency to try to tilt forward
out.
over my belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I don't. So even on a gun this size, I'll throw a TRL 1 on it, so I get the length out of it, and I still have that short grip. And it makes a good MPE gun or a daily carry gun for someone who has a different body frame than me and has to carry a smaller gun or whatever.
And truthfully,
Depends on where they work.
Anthony Calandro, owner of Gun for Hire Range, and of course, my friend and hero. One of the classes we were talking about during the pistol class, he said, the older you get, the smaller you want your EDC pistol to get. He said, I don't know what happened. He said, yeah, I used to carry big guns. And he said, now I'm looking at an Airlight, air weight from Smith & Wesson. He's like, and I'm looking for something small.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to carry it.
Well, me being, 5,000 years old, I get you. I mean, I want my carry gun the size of this like USB drive, but that's not going to happen. So
as long as you understand the limitations to your gear and you train with what you have, you're probably going to be fine for the most part. The
exactly.
problem is,
hold on.
The problem comes to when people
say that again.
Go ahead.
Say it again. Say it again. Know your limitations.
Yeah, you got to know your limitations, and you've got to be proficient with what you have. I know plenty of people. Like, there's plenty of dudes that I shouldn't say plenty. I know several people who carry, on occasion, a J-frame in their pocket or a 1911, God forbid. But you know what? Some of those guys are very proficient, and they know the limitations of their firearm. They're not going to go try to fight ISIS with it. Too many people think their LCP is like for crime fighting, and there's a balance there. We've brought him up on the show before. Steve Fisher had a great comment about it on another podcast he was doing, where it basically was, I just stole from him. Is you got to know your limitations, and you got to be proficient with what you have. And I'll give you credit where it's due.
That's because Steve Fisher stole that from Clint Eastwood. Man's got to know his limitations.
A man's got to know his limitations.
One of the things that happened in real life was one of the competitive pistol shooters who shoots his high round count competitive double stack polymer super gun, was home one day, went out on an errand, and had a LCP or some 5-shot revolver.
Yeah, no, it was a J-frame. This was in Florida. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so a crime happened, and he decided to go all freaking Rambo and forgot he had 5 rounds on him, and he opened fire like he was in one of the pistol competitions. Didn't realize all of a sudden you're in the middle of a fight with an empty gun.
Yeah, I believe it was a jewelry store robbery, and there were 5 bad guys. And
something like that.
Yeah, he, didn't have the right tool for the job.
Well, and he didn't train with the tool he had.
Not for what he was doing. All of a sudden, he had the, wrong tool for the job, and now you're sitting there and you went from a hairy back monster that was just going to rule the world with fangs dragging the floor and knuckles bleeding and ready to get busy. And all of a sudden, them fangs were gone. and now you're sitting there with a really lightweight piece of aluminum in your hand that does absolutely nothing. So, yeah, don't forget what you carry. Don't forget the limitations of what you use. And don't forget your limitations. How far can you hit with this subcompact? Really, how far can you get body hits? Most anybody, in my opinion, that's competent with a Glock 19 size firearm should be able to hit body shots at 25 yards easy on a bad guy. Can you do the same thing with your subcompact? If you can't, find out what that distance is.
It just takes longer because I have to aim better.
It takes longer because Chad goes into the prone position.
Tony, the internet told me if you shoot anyone past 21 feet, you're going to prison. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. The internet is where I get all of my legal and firearms advice from.
Hey, the internet's the best place for legal firearms advice.
Aren't we technically on the internet?
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't listen to the show either.
Yeah.
No, but
you used to until we're on it.
Yeah, the thing we do, I feel, is shine a light on internet BS and internet tough guys and IG firearms heroes. Like if you find yourself at the range taping bottle rockets to the target and lighting them and then running in front of it, you're doing it wrong, man.
I swear to God, I pulled up to my range one day and someone had been out there on my range and there were spent bottle rockets in the backstop.
Wow,
and
Tony, you called that right.
I was like, great, lovely. Someone's been watching way too much Instagram.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's when you go, hey, where's your Darwin Award at?
Well,
my thing is, but here's the thing. No matter how fast those bottle rockets come, they're nowhere near the speed of a bullet. They're just a distraction. Bullets going to be coming so fast, you probably won't notice them flying by you. You're only going to notice the ones hitting you. Just saying. I know that's what happened to me.
and the majority of the bullets, even from handguns, are going faster than the speed of sound. So by the time you hear it, it's already either past you or in you.
So,
yeah.
Believe me. Now, when I heard bullets passing through trees around me or projectiles passing through trees around me, I was like, wow, I guess that's a good thing I'm hearing that. And that was really the second thought because the first one was GTFO. And then I guess it was the fourth thought. Hey, it's good I'm hearing it. Because then I ran.
Yep.
Because running is a defensive measure too.
Nike defense, man.
Hey, it works.
Yep, I'm Jesse Owen. Bye.
Well, I don't think you're Jesse Owens, but
I was that
day. Yeah. Okay. Well, I checked iTunes and we had no listener feedback, so I guess that's a plus and a minus depending on. So
I've been.
Oh, we didn't make fun of anybody. Darn.
Yeah, we didn't make anybody mad, I guess. So I guess Zane will have to do better instead of dropping out when we're discussing 22s.
Nice.
I was actually I trying to pull up my calculator to do the ounces to pounds, and I ended up getting hang up instead. I can't even do it on the calculator. So
that was pretty funny. So Tony, it's all you now.
All right. First of all, I'd like to send prayers out to all the people affected by the horrible, horrible tragedy in Florida. As firearms people, we don't get to say that before we have to defend the Second Amendment and the tools we own. So I'd like to take time out to say God bless all those people and their families and anyone that's affected. That's very important to get out.
Uh-oh.
Did Tony just drop out?
Tony and Zane both dropped out.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was on a really good...
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was like he was going, and next thing I know, it's like he dropped out, Zane dropped out. I wonder if their internet crashed. Nope, Zane's coming back. I don't know where Tony is, but yeah, he was on a roll.
I was removed. It said I was removed from the call. I was like, what'd I do? I didn't even say nothing.
No, it's like you and Tony just kind of dropped out. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, we were sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it going, what happened to Tony?
It dropped me. And the first time I tried to rejoin, it said you were removed from the call. I'm like, uh-oh.
Jeez, they really don't like us today, I guess.
Yeah, you really torqued Chad off, huh?
I didn't even push anything. I mean, if I wanted to kick you, I'd just say you're out of here. But
we are still live, right?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah.
That's still live. So, and we're waiting for. Don't worry.
You're on a really good roll there, Tony.
Zane dropped out too, Tony. Both you and Zane just disappeared. So you can continue on your awesome speech you're giving us.
Nope, that was. I just wanted to get that out there because we don't get to say it enough. Sorry, I dropped off. News with 2A4E is we just opened up a Patreon account. So if you guys want to join, go to Patreon. Second is for everyone. What we're using that for is actually to get me computer equipment that doesn't suck, like the world oldest iPad, which I'm on right now, or the busted laptop that was donated 2 years ago, and it was like 6 years old. So, we need to upgrade some of our equipment, and we also still trying to become official. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on with the Patreon. We also have the GoFundMe account. So we're doing a lot of things to try to raise money for the Second is for Everyone. What's the Second is for Everyone? It's the Second Amendment workshop dedicated to helping all people be introduced to firearms and the firearms culture and community and the industry, regardless of the color, race, gender, sexual orientation, political party, or background. We bring people out to the firearms range, introduce them to regular gun owners, introduce them to Second Amendment groups like the NRAILA. NSSF was out there who own SHOT Show. They came to our last event. We also introduced them to local Second Amendment groups. This is important. Listen up. Join a state Second Amendment group. This is where the fight is going to happen. This is what I'm going to stress it out. April 5th event. And this is what I'm stressing you guys now. They're coming for us on the state level. This is where you have to pay attention. This is when you got to join a group. If you don't have the money to join a group, join the group's newsletter to get their information, to know when the rallies are. Set up dates. This is when anti-gunners are able to push through stupid laws that don't work anyway. Understand, anti-gunners want to ban guns. They don't want solutions. They want to ban guns. A solution is armed teachers and armed police officers in the school environment that have also been trained in first aid and how to move kids from point A to point B and how to shoot people in a hostage-type high-risk environment. There are classes for that thing, like faster training. If you go to Simon Says Train or even the Second is for Everyone, I have links for training like that. It's being done. NRA offered to pay for the exact kind of class. Everyone turned it down because it had the NRA's name associated with it. It's called the School Shield Program. Look it up. NRA was willing to train people and pay for the ammo. No one took them up on it. Those are real answers. Nope. Anti-gunners or anti-gun. Anyway.
Well,
I'm trying
to back up that point, the threat had just got really real a couple hours ago when the supposed pro-gun president just released a memo about bump stocks and universal background checks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Understand, we got a problem.
It ain't just the quote-unquote anti-gunners of the supposed pro-gun people. So
nobody's pro-gun if they vote against your civil rights being infringed. Understand that. No one gets a buy. No party gets a buy. No person gets a buy. Time is up. Almost cursed. You guys, many people sat on their butt when Trump got elected and said, we're in and we won, and they thought they didn't have to do anything. Well, how's that coming to bite you right in your lazy butts right now? Because it is. Because your pro-gun president just did some stuff that smells a little anti-gun. Just saying.
Yep.
There were answers, and it's called responsibility, personal and otherwise. It's not the inanimate object. Anyway, guys, listen, you want to help me out? Those are the ways to help us out. What I'm going to be doing in Jersey is fighting to grow the gun culture huge, because we're going to need it, because they slide stuff past us based on feelings, not facts. If you don't believe it, look at the mayor of Dallas talking about he wants the NRA not to hold their annual meeting there in 2 months? Yeah.
I hope not. I already bought my tickets.
Yeah, here's the thing. You can want all you want, but if you look at crime statistics during the NRA annual meeting in both Louisville and Atlanta, Georgia, they dropped darn near to 0 reported crimes during that 5-day time frame. Why? Because 80,000 people, a majority of them carrying concealed weapons, came to town. Yeah, that changes things. That changes your victim status, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. When they know there's 80,000 strangers who look like they don't come from Atlanta with all kinds of belt buckles, T-shirts, hats, and patches that says NRA on it, which means we'll shoot your butt. So, yeah, we drop crime when we show up, and he doesn't want us there. Why? Because he has a political agenda. They want to ban guns. They don't want to stop crime. All right, guys, that's my rant. I have my own show for that, but I'm sorry I had to say it because it kind of all went together.
Well, Tony,
so, thanks a lot, guys. What's up?
I was going to say, like here, it's the Oregon Firearm Federation, and even if you don't join them, if you join their email, they're really good about sending you everything you need to know. Even on the federal level, they'll send you, like contact your people. This is what's being pushed through. Or depending on what it is, a lot of times they have form letters on their website where for this, say, bill or whatever, and you can just enter your name and send it out to your constituent, senators and everything. So I'm sure a lot of other states are the same way. So it really doesn't take you tons of time to do this because you don't even have to write your own letter if you don't want to. So yep. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Here in Jersey, ours is ANJRPC. Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs is our big state NRA chapter. That's anjrpc.org. Or if you want to join somebody more specific, CNJFO. It's Coalition of New Jersey Firearms Owners. They're trying to get rid of justifiable need when you try to get a carry permit. So, there are people out there, you can just join their mail list. It doesn't cost you any money. Heck, join my darn page. The second is for everyone on Facebook. And I'll be putting information out on that as it comes in. Information is very, very important, and action is very important. Information you can get for free. Action, it's up to you whether you want to do something. But my thing is this. If they have a 2018, 2019 assault weapons ban, are you going to be one of those people that sit on your butt going, man, I wish I would have done something? Or are you going to be someone that stops it from happening? You're going to talk about it or be about it. Ball's in your court.
Yep. Well, we're on to the wrap up now. So send questions, comments, feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can contact me at that above email address. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review, good or bad. We want all your feedback. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit. Jeez, I can't even talk. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at /Firearms Insider. Follow us at Firearms Insider on Instagram. Thanks for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network, and we are out.
Bye, Felicia.